So I did something that's probably not advised, and I went onto Temu and I purchased camera gear, camera equipment, accessories, things that you can attach to your camera or aid your camera in whatever way, even including a lens. We're going to talk about that today. Everything I bought was under $20, and at the end we'll discuss whether it's worth doing or not. Alright, so here we have like a little assortment of accessories. I'm going to go ahead and get this one out of the way. This is not one of the five. One of the five is actually being used in this shot right now. This is just a stupid little gimmick that I thought would be interesting for a thumbnail that you could just stick on top of your camera. Don't buy this, right? This is not worth purchasing. That's all. Yeah, don't buy it. So first off, there's tons of these like small little things, right? So you got like these little mini tripods, which are very lightweight and a lot smaller than they look online. Or there's loads of these little like magic arms. Now magic arms are actually incredibly beneficial, right? These little sort of, they're like a 1/4 to 1/4 with a little ball head adapter on each side that allows you to mount whatever you want to a camera. And I thought this would be an interesting one to check out. This cost me $2. Now my other favorite magic arm out there is by SmallRig. It's actually over here. Okay, so this is my favorite magic arm. This one is by SmallRig, and it is much more substantial than this one, which is just some unbranded thing. You can see that there's a pretty substantial difference there just in size. And the other thing that I haven't tested yet, but I would argue is that this is going to be able to hold up a whole lot more weight than this one. So here we have like just a little, we got a monitor and like a top handle. So, you know, in theory, it should be pretty easy to just, you know, screw this on here. You can attach the friction arm to the handle, and then, you know, go ahead and just attach the other side to the monitor, you know, which gives you, you can use these everywhere. I've got tons of these SmallRig ones because they're super well built, and they hold anything really. I mean, this one that I just took off over here holds my ZV-E10 up with a cage and a relatively big lens. You know, it holds it up no problem, and it's, you know, it's not going to go anywhere. That's not even tightened up. Comes with a little Allen key thing that allows you to tighten up some things. Great little magic arm, love that thing, but I think it's like $20, maybe even more. So I thought, you know what, let's try a $2 one and see if it could hold up to the same level as a $20 one. The first thing I noticed is that just on the little ball head itself, there's no little rubber rings around it, so the actual amount of tension that it can hold is probably nowhere near as much. Okay, so that's it on there. It's attached. Let me just get it tightened up. Ooh. Okay, so that's it as tight as I can get it. And okay, it's not gonna hold anything. Yeah, okay. That's enough said about that. Don't buy that. Let's talk about this a lot. This is the most stupid video I've ever made. I think you all know the answer to this video anyway, but hey ho, we're going to keep talking about it. Okay, here we have a little tripod mount thing. It's very small. I don't know if that's actually going to hold much. It might hold a phone holder. You can stick your phone on there. That actually might be a reasonable use for it. It is incredibly lightweight. Let's see if it'll hold a camera. All right, here's ZV-10 in a cage with a 16mm on there. As far as cameras go, this is a pretty small camera rig. Let's see. Okay, so when I have it mounted forward like that, it actually sits quite well. So you know what? If you want a little display unit, I mean, it's not... It's very front heavy. You would want a smaller lens on here. If you want a little display unit, I guess this would work, especially if you don't have a lens on there. Maybe you have an old camera that you love and you're like, I'm gonna just put this on a shelf somewhere. You could probably get away with this. It certainly doesn't feel very strong. Like, it's very flexy. I mean, I feel like with just, okay, yeah, I just broke it. Okay, so yeah, it doesn't take much pressure to snap the legs off. But I guess, you know, if you want to spend $2 just to like put something on a shelf and display it, I'd love to be able to show you B-roll of what that would look like, but I've now broken this, so we're going to throw that one away and say that that's useless. Now these ones I was actually quite excited about. These are little like lens caps, like little rubber lens caps, and I think Polar Pro made some of these they were pretty expensive. I think they were like $25 per one of these that, you know, it's stretchy, so it can stretch around your lens. And this came in a pack of 4. I think it was like $6 or something ridiculous. And I was kind of excited about trying these out. What I will say is I put them on a couple of lenses. So here's like an anamorphic lens. So I stuck one on top of that there. And you know what? It fits, and it does the job. And it'll definitely keep dust out of the front of your lens. So, you know, that's not going to let any dust in through there. But as far as I can tell, I would imagine the Polar Pro ones are going to be thicker on the top or have some sort of harder material on top. Because this, I mean, I can just feel the element right there. Like, I'm touching the element there, which is going to leave like some mark. And if I were to drop this, like, and it was to hit a stone or a corner of something, that's not going to protect anything at all. So, I mean, this will function as far as like, you know, protecting your camera from dust, I guess. It doesn't fit over large lenses. So anything over a 72 millimeter, it just wasn't fitting right. I think this is 67. I think that's a sweet spot, is sort of 67 millimeters. But anything over that, over 72 millimeters, is not going to fit. It just wouldn't fit over the front of it. So, you know, in theory, these technically work in the way that they're supposed to. And I haven't tried the Polar Pro one. So if you have a Polar Pro one, make sure to comment down below. Tell us, you know, if it actually protects the lens. This is not going to provide any protection other than dust. So if dust is your concern, yeah, maybe these could work. If you're traveling with these and you're worried about dropping it and you want to protect the front of the front element, this is not going to protect it from anything. Okay, the fourth one here is actually a camera lens. So at first I thought it was a lens cap, but it is actually this teeny tiny little pancake lens. So it is the plasticiest little thing. It seems like it's just a lens cap that has had like a miniature lens from like, I don't know, like a like a little disposable camera or something, just like glued onto the front is almost what it looks like. Now it says it's a 32 millimeter f10 lens. So, you know, this one is designed for the Sony E-mount. So first off, let's even see if it fits. Okay. It does fit, but it doesn't lock. So, you know, it does fit, like it sits on the camera, but it's not locked at all. Like it just swivels and comes out. I don't know if you can see that there on there, but you know, it's not actually locking into place. So yeah, there's no click. As far as the image goes, it is, it's way too dark in here. It's f10. I'm gonna take this over to the coffee shop and take some pictures with this, and I'll put them on the screen. You can tell me if you think that this is worth $20. This is the most expensive thing in this whole list. A $20 little lens to go on the front of your camera. I probably wouldn't recommend this. Just, you know, there's no way of focusing. It's an f10, and I made a video a couple of months ago talking about a $25 lens that I got on Amazon, which is a 35 millimeter f1.6. I think, or f1.7. So go check out that video if you want to see a much better version of the cheapest camera lens that you can buy. This, you can't focus it. It's an f10 and it doesn't lock into place. So do with that information as you will. But it was, as far as lenses go, it was the only lens that I could actually find on Temu. There was no other lens options at the time of this recording. Now, the other thing, obviously, about Temu, this took a month, right? I ordered these like a month ago and it took forever to come in. We had a bit of snow here in Kentucky, so I don't know if that set it back, but it took forever to get here. And all of these products have better versions of them for a little bit more money on Amazon that you can get within 2 days. So, you know, do with that as you will. That's going to be my saying for today's video. Do with this information as you will. I wouldn't buy this stuff again, except for maybe one piece. And even though I think it's actually worth the purchase, and it's probably worth the money that I bought it for, I don't think it's worth buying it on Temu. There's many other options out there, and there's some of these on Amazon that you can get for basically the same price. And it's this thing over here. It's been in the shot the whole time, and it's a little miniature light thing. This is way too bright. I'm going to turn the brightness down. My only complaint so far, these buttons, very loud. So this is as low brightness as it goes. It's got CCT mode and RGB mode, and it's got a handful of effects. So for CCT, I think this is actually really handy. It's kind of nice to have in the background. It just sort of lights up, gives you a bit of a hairlight. It's got 1/4 threads on the bottom of each end, so you can actually attach this to like a C-stand and boom it over somebody. It does get pretty bright. It doesn't tell you how bright it gets. So that's as bright as it gets. I have no idea how bright this is. Too much to shine in my eyes, but and it has a range apparently of 2700 Kelvin to 7500 Kelvin. So, you know, this is it at its warmest color, and Oh, it only has three. It only has three options. So there's like really warm, neutral, probably around 5500, and then a cool kind of white color. So, you know, there's no gradient. You can't, there's just those three options. And then you have an RGB mode. So yeah, it's got a bunch of these. The one that actually I'm thinking might come in handy, because I'm planning a little video here soon where I need police lighting, which I've got a bunch of lights that can do that. But this one had like a, let me cycle through. Yeah, so it's got like a little police car thing, I guess, that you could use. So honestly, like, this isn't bad, you know? Like, for the money, I think this would cost me like $16. This is the one that I say would be pretty good. Battery life was good as well. I left it on at its lowest lighting setting. So this, I left it on in my gaming room at the house, just lighting up one corner of it that I thought looked kind of nice, and it stayed on for a good few hours. I didn't actually see when it died, but lasted a long time. At full brightness, it'll die very quickly. It does get warm to the touch. Build quality is not very good. The only other thing that's pretty cool is it has magnets. It's got some magnets on the back, so you could attach it to like a stand or a fridge or wherever you want. So you know what? Like, out of all of the things, this is the one that I would recommend getting, but I'd recommend just buying it on Amazon. It's a much more trusted company, and it won't take you a month to get it. Obviously, in today's video, we're not going to be talking about the ethical questions around Temu, about, you know, all of that kind of stuff. I'm not going to get into that today. Some people want to buy stuff on it, some people don't. My wife loves buying stuff on it. I don't, you know, so you do whatever you think is best. As far as camera gear goes, I wouldn't recommend purchasing anything off there. When it comes to camera gear, you get what you pay for. I understand some camera gear is very expensive. You can spend whatever you want on camera equipment, whether that's $25 on a lens or $2,500 on a lens. You can do it. But I don't know what you think down below. I understand that this is a ridiculous video. I don't recommend any of these products. But I hope you enjoyed it for entertainment purposes at least. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. Hit the like button while you're down there if you enjoyed the video. And I'd love it if you'd consider subscribing as we continue to build this channel. I appreciate all of you for doing so, and I hope that you have a wonderful day.